Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, and if you don't remember, a few months ago I did the same thing for this presidential debate with Donald Trump and Joe Biden. And that one was actually very successful on my channel. Shout out to all the people who watch it. Some of you might be returning viewers for that. And to about, was that 2.5 months later, 3 months later, we are here discussing Kamala versus Donald Trump. Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. That's the way I should say it. I'm gonna let y'all know a couple things. I'm tired, I'm cranky, and I'm not in a good mood, and this thing surely didn't help me. Give me 1 second. We have these things on, and if you know what these mean, if you don't know what these mean, if you know what these things mean, these are, when we talk about politics, I wear glasses because I have to read, and I took notes like I did last time, and I ended up taking about 4 pages of notes. Didn't mean to, but it kind of happened. There's a lot of times people getting off topic, and I have to write down that stuff a lot more than I did last time. Both of them getting off topic. This was a tough watch. Very, very rough to watch this, especially not in the best mood today. This is not helping me at all. This country has no good, positive future if one of these two are president. One of them okay, first of all, the moderator. I'm going to mention this at one point. I'm going to get my stuff off right now. The moderator must hate Trump to the full extent. If there's one person that hates Trump, if there's 100 haters, if there's 1,000,000 haters of Trump, he is one. If there's 100, he is one. If there's 10, he's in that group. If there is one, it's him. If there are none, he's dead. That is what this moderator is like, because every single time he has said something, he has either chimed in or fact-checked them. I've heard no fact checks for Kamala on anything, and I doubt she's saying everything perfect. I'm not saying that she's a liar, but I am saying over a 90-minute period, I would expect at least 1 or 2 fact checks, especially when the other guy has had about 5 to 10 put on him. I doubt these people are perfect. These parties are very imperfect. So let's discuss it like that. Second of all, can we stay on topic for once? Can we stay on topic? None of these people can stay on topic. Afghanistan's been mentioned maybe 3 times, 2 times in a question by the moderators. 18 times by Trump, pretty much. If you would bet the over on Afghanistan or illegal immigrants, mainly that Bing mentioned, you would have had as much money as you would have bet times like 5 million, because it's been happening routinely. The over was hit within the first 10 minutes. The border's been I saw there was a bet out there, the over under a 15 plus on the border being mentioned. That thing must have got hit within the first 10 minutes. He has not let this go, and she's deflecting answering it. The idea of vetoing the abortion thing, Trump also deflected that. These people don't answer questions. They're not respectful. They don't like each other. Kamala keeps making these facial reactions, which is okay to make, but know the right time to do so. Laughing when the idea of Trump mentioning that people were eating dogs and pets in Ohio that are illegal migrants. I'm not saying he's correct. It's just kind of strange. If that is correct, that's a really bad look. If he's wrong, that's a really bad look on Trump in that part. It's a bad look on either one, depending how the card flips. I don't know. Let me get into some of these notes. My throat is giving out on me. I drink water. That's why. Let's drink water. I'm not in a good mood. My throat is what's going to give out on me at one point. My throat doesn't feel the best, and this stuff's not helping me. So let's try our best, and we'll see what happens. Let's calm down the voice. First of all, it says no topics were known prior to the debate. None. None at all. You had an idea of what could be mentioned. That's obvious. I bet you could have had the same ideas of what's going to be mentioned. Take the questions that were in the first debate, put them in the second. About the same thing. Okay, they shook hands. Kamala initiated shaking hands. I thought we might have a good start. It did not continue. Kamala says that she has a plan to help the middle class. That was the opening statement. Not bad. Extending the tax cut for families with kids, ignoring the economy question, and wants $50 million to new business owners. When you create your own business, she wants like $50 million. I think for like a fund or something like that nature to go towards them. Was the creating businesses is how America's made, and she made that a part of her point. Keep it going. Trump says he has no sales tax, taken in billions of dollars from China. He says he's taken in billions of dollars from China, and says it's the worst inflation ever. Interesting. Interesting. And if one of you says the Great Depression, that's completely wrong. The Great Depression was a stock fall that went down and everything just kind of just people lost money. It wasn't inflation. It's just people lost a ton of their money because they put it all in stocks. And the stock market actually crashed and everyone put their money out and the banks didn't want to let them out. And it was a whole debacle. And once the banks suffer, everyone suffers in the process. And yeah, the dust bowls of the crops weren't being made. People just starved. It wasn't an inflation to that same level that we've had recently. But I do agree, inflation has been a problem. Interesting. Millions that are prisoners and illegals are taking over the country, and says that she's just letting it happen, which, again, that's up to you to debate upon. That's up, again, she ignored the idea of the legal immigration stuff a lot throughout today, which was very annoying because that's arguably the number one topic in America right now, is that an abortion. We will get to that later. Okay, let me get back on it. She implied, yeah, I meant to say implied, my bad. I wrote down employed, my bad. That Trump left them with nothing. So they left them with nothing. Says the playbook Project 25 will be played out. And he says there's nothing to do with and he says he has nothing to do with Project 25. And again, that's up to you to say if that's right or not. It seems like she kept pushing that he is Project 25 fully. He said continuously that he is not Project 25. There are some variations of it, that there's some things a part of it that I think he agrees with. Other things, no. Anyways, pandemic is why the country jobs were at an all-time low. I would agree with that. That was a point that she mentioned, that they left them with nothing. She said that he left them with nothing. Well, the jobs are going to not be there because COVID happened. And that's a whole other thing within itself. Again, a lot of things about this is your own opinion. I'm not trying to force you to say, I'm not trying to force my opinion upon y'all. At times I will, but overall I'm trying not to, because it's my channel. I can create my own rules on how things are run. It's my channel. Anyways, yeah. He did great with the pandemic. That's what he said. She says that there was no plan. Says Trump's plans are will worsen inflation. She said, like, there's some people that told her that were highly respected or former workers of Trump. Says he doesn't want to help anyone but him. Says he copied Biden. He said that she copied Biden's plan pretty much. Prices will lower to do tariffs. And critiques her job on tariffs. There we go. And then said, and then he said that 80% would say that Harris's economy sucks. There we go. That's the first page of notes. We're about 30% through. Yeah, because I did not do a full fourth page, but half. That's about 30%. Might not be perfect. 28, 29. You know what I'm discussing. You're smart, right? Big brain. Anyways, without tariffs, idea of tariffs, I have not followed that well at all. The economy within the realm, I would have liked to answer more of those type of questions. That's the first page of notes, though. Says that pretty much said that you'll copy Biden's plan. I wouldn't be too surprised within that realm because, well, she is the vice president. I have to agree with a lot of what the president says. But also the idea of worsening inflation. How can it get worse? I just want to wonder, what would Trump do to make this worse? I assume it relates to tariffs, because it's going to be boosted up even more. I think 20% on any input of goods from outsider countries, which she said that would make the things even more expensive here. Interesting. I think you can play around that. I don't know, though. Again, I don't know this stuff perfectly. I'm the relayer of the information. Okay. China got chips for military under Trump. And Trump rebutted saying, we don't use chips. That's from Taiwan. He says that she's a Marxist. Her dad apparently was a Marxist or something of that nature. He said that he taught her a lot upon it, taught her well, and she's become one of them. Restates criminal, the criminal thing that Trump's were under. Trump confusing plant. Oh yeah. Talking about the Trump abortion thing, I'm going to mention something about this. He said during this that he wants the 6 week ban, but also not. And he switched back and forth. That's what moderators, that was the female moderators talking about. That it kept flip-flopping the idea of wanting abortion within 6 weeks, not abortion in 6 weeks. We're going to do it, we're going to not. Flipping back and forth. It was a pancake, baby. Says the Democrats are radical on abortion. Says that Tim Walz, the vice president picked by Kamala Harris, is wild on abortion. Believes in. He also believes that in rape, incest, and the mothers of the health are the only three like excusions when it comes to abortion. It's like, okay, you can't do it, but if one of these three happen, that should be like, okay, that's its own case. It should be excused. Okay. She says that he brought 3 judges to ban abortion. Says government shouldn't tell women what to do with abortion, with their bodies. I mean, I'm not supposed. What can I say upon that? Like, you do what you want with your own body. It's not my room to tell you what you should do or shouldn't do. I have my own opinions upon it, but again, I'm not a woman that cannot fully speak upon that subject. Kamala is, and she's pretty much just saying that Trump and his government officials should not be the ones making the call on the decision. There you go. It kind of makes you think, was that the reason why they just gave it to the state? I don't know. But again, that's what it was. Says, there we go. Says the government shouldn't tell a woman what to do when it comes to abortion of her body. She says wild stories. I think she talked about a story about how a woman shouldn't be allowed to go, like talking about women having to fly from a plane to go like sit next to people on a plane to go get an abortion from a different state because of what's going on. That's just called public flying, public transportation. Which, again, a lot of stuff was randomly mentioned by both parties. Were randomly mentioned. We had the golf incident happen under the Biden debate, and we have some stuff happen over here. Very weird stories keep mentioning that really don't make sense. So Kamala had the attempt of a lot of sob stories within a way that I believe are very minor incidents, not minor incidents, very, very rare incidents within the whole perspective of everything that has happened. Very minor incidents compared to everything else. Again, my bad. Not minor incidents, does not rare occasions. That's what I should say. Happens on rare occasion. Not likely to happen. There you go. Roe v. Wade will be back, she says. She will reinstate the exact way it has been done before. She restates Project 25 being what he's going for. He says that he won't make a ban. She says that he will. That's a big thing. She says that he will make a ban upon abortion. He says he won't. And there was a whole debate going on back and forth. Moderators got in the way. And this is when the thing started getting a little bit more ugly. Calls her a liar upon this. Trump getting off topic. He did that a lot. Student loan were somehow brought up. I don't know how student loans got brought up. Relating, I think it was to abortion. And saying how the government was doing that. And it somehow relates to student loans. But then how they acted upon that. I don't know. Again, Trump did a lot of weird stuff throughout this thing. It's like, why is this even a topic within this? Why is this a topic? Preschoolers stay on topic better than these two do. It says a lot about these candidates. Doesn't answer the veto abortion question. That's a big problem. He never answered the veto abortion question because J.D. Vance said that he would have vetoed the abortion ban upon anything else. And he never really gave a clear answer. And then it kind of went against him because whenever he was asking the immigration questions, Kamala was like, I'm not going to answer that until we answer the veto questions about the abortion. And because of that, he could never get an answer. And it could never make her look bad about it either. We'll restate the full original of Roe v. Wade. Bring in weird stories about sitting with strangers on a plane. That was the thing I talked about earlier. I mentioned Midway. It's been a rough debate. It has been a rough debate at this point, and it will continue to be a rough debate. Ryan, it will not stop. Everyone avoiding questions. That is very true. Mics aren't muted. Like, it just seemed like mics were not muted. During the Biden and Trump one, it seemed like they were muted. Today, not. I know Trump was talking a lot. Moderators were trying to cut him off a bit of times. Fact-checking, going back and forth, which you should get a bit more time to discuss if a moderator is going to correct you on something. Give a little time response. But he did do it a lot during Kamala's stuff, too. A bit during Kamala's. I thought we had muted mics for this reason. It seemed like they would be muted for half a second and it would just come back on. It's not even muted, Mike. Keep it muted if it's not their turn. There we go. She supports helping the border, which she hasn't done. I don't think anyone would say she's done a good job when it comes to the border at all. And that's being as fair as you can get. It's not worked. Not worked in this administration. 11 million migrants. I didn't even realize. Over 11 million illegal migrants or illegals from other countries are here. That's a lot of people. It's a lot. And those are 11 million people that you can't mark because they don't have a record here unless they get arrested. And a lot of them are within the same areas. They're up north. It's northern areas. The south areas, you don't really get it outside of Texas. And Texas is its own thing. Texas, how they get in. Really weird. But anyways, she says that the bill got stopped by Trump, which would have helped out the border protection. By Trump's people, I should say. Trump made some calls and was like, we don't want this. So they didn't make it happen. She says that she's a leader. Says his rallies are mentioning of cartoons and how people leave early. And then he says that no one goes to her rallies. He loves talking about rallies. He discussed it for like 5 minutes. I guess that's one of his sweet spots. He just likes talking about rallies. And he just keeps it going. We will have a World War III, he said. Harris smiles while he's saying pets are getting eaten. That's, again, not a good look for either side. If you're lying about it, that's not a good look. If she's smiling about it and it's true, that's really not a good look. It's a bad look on both sides. And again, they fact-checked it. You go on sites, it does say some people have had seen people eating dogs and cats, which is crazy. Why are you eating dogs and cats? I mean, first of all, is there a humane side of you that says you've probably seen a dog or cat? Dollar Generals are very close by. You can go down there. I know it's in Ohio. Anywhere that's not up north has Dollar Generals or Dollar Trees or Family Dollars around there. You can buy a couple Hershey bars and a pack of goldfish and be happy for the day. Don't be eating people's cats. They have a lot of frozen items and just ham and random prepackaged meats. Go eat those instead, please. You don't need much money. You can mug someone for $20. You can ask someone for $20 and they might give you it, depending on how nicely you ask it. We might have to test that theory out at one point. Don't know when, don't know how, but we might have to test that. Says that America's becoming Venezuela on steroids. Don't know the context of that, but I just don't know about Venezuela's situation. Didn't mention it though. Moderators and Trump argue. That was a continuous theme. Fact check him on things. Says former workers say he'll ruin the country. That's what Kamala accused of his former workers saying about him. They fired no one from Afghanistan. That's what he said about the situation, which I believe is true, actually. Over the Afghanistan situation. Over 11 million migrants in this country, possibly even more. That's a whole ton of migrants, to be honest. That's not good. Have over 11 million people that aren't supposed to be in this country or in this country. Takes away jobs, takes away a lot of situations, takes away food. Inflation has to go higher because there's limited products, because 11 million other people that they did not account for are now here. And they're taking that supplies. So yeah. Blames Democrats for this. He blamed Democrats for that situation happening. Fraud. Talks about these fraud polls within stuff. I think it was talking about how the border has got better or something of that nature. And he said they were avoiding certain states that actually have the situations going on than the polls. It was another debate with them, again, moderator. She's going after him for jail for the accusations or the charges within that nature that he's been having. She ignores the question on immigration. That was a continuous theme. She mentioned the idea of him getting the charges, and instead of answering the immigration question. That's very bad. Says he was not charged fully for the charge. Says he was not fully charged for the charges. That's what he said. Said he got the charges, I think, dropped, or he won the cases within them. I did not write this down well. He won the court cases. There you go. That's how you say it. Look at me, see? I'm getting there. Again, I'm tired. I'm not in the best mood. This stuff doesn't help. I'm trying my best here. There you go. Her values have not changed and won't ban fracking. Both talking about growing up, talking about him he got help, got a big check of money, made into billions. She grew up middle class. She discussed the middle class. Both being disrespectful. That was a continuous theme. again. I think she gave a little smirk or something, made a little chuckle, and then he was like, "Excuse me, no," and kind of told her to shush or just like wait, my turn, and then kept talking. Again, strange. January 6th is mentioned. Still, January 6th is mentioned. Why is this still a topic? We've already discussed this so many times. Can we move on? We have so many better things to discuss in life. Nothing about education being mentioned, outside of student loans being randomly mentioned by Trump. But nothing about education. Nothing about, I don't believe they mentioned, unless they mentioned in the last 20 minutes, what I've been surprised by, schools and how mental health is a problem within schools, because the stuff that's going on with the shootings is not because of gun control. It's because people don't care about their kids. Talking about how the mom was a druggie that left the kids out and did not let them get into the house. And the dad, knowing this situation, and the kid was on an FBI watch list, they let him into a public school and also bought him a gun for Christmas. That is why this stuff happened. Not because of gun control, it's because of idiotic parents that can't take responsibility for their kids. And how people somehow are ignorant enough to not understand that is beyond my belief. It's insane how dumb people are at times. It's not gun control, it's the kids and the people within themselves that don't understand why they shouldn't do things, because they have been treated terribly throughout their life. So they feel like the only way they can get out is to hurt others. It happens a lot. Some people take it out in better ways. A lot of people take it out in MMA. A lot of great UFC fighters actually have terrible backstories that they fought through a lot, and they've tried, and they've got out, and they've overcome this problem by fighting people professionally. Some people don't have that same ability. Some people don't have that same strength. And some people just don't want to wait 20 years, 15 years to become great at something. Some people just want a quick result because they've been punished throughout their life for something they've not done. So now it's time to get back on people. And that was not mentioned. Ridiculous. But we're mentioning January 6th still. We're mentioning this other stuff that we've talked about for years. 4 years. Said of this. Ridiculous. Would have loved to hear that topic. But again, who cares? Who cares? The same topics every single time. No one changes. Ridiculous. Anyways, says that he asked them, relate January 6th, says that he asked them to do it peacefully. He's going after immigration hard. He continued mentioning immigration off of January 6th. How do you do that? He's talking a lot more than her. That was one thing. Trump did talk about 65% of the time, I would say. Moderator, 3%. Kamala, like 62%. Says that he insisted a mob. That's what she said. Literally. No one died in the police, but she said that they did on that day. Again, no one died. Only one person did, because I think a police officer shot this one woman. Probably shouldn't have, but he did. But they did. I'm not sure if it was a woman or a man that was the police officer, but someone did. Excuse me. Moderator hates Trump. Again, mentioned that. Keeps fact-checking him on everything. Keeps getting his way on everything. And he didn't do that for Kamala. Kind of strange. I wouldn't say anything, but it is ABC, and they have a tendency to lean towards the Democratic side. So it's kind of like, is it home cooking going on here? We're trying to get a couple penalties. Is it a holding call, but not really at the same time? Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay. I don't know, though. Again, I don't know. But a lot of facial reactions coming from Kamala. A lot of facial reactions. Started like checking out the body language. These people can't stay on topic. She wants the hostages out of Israel. Says that the main wars would have not happened if he was president, if Trump was still president. Kind of fair. Not a lot happened during his time on the wars. During his time off, you have Israel with Hamas situation. You have the Ukraine and Russia situation going on. Happened within, I think, 2 years, that war. Ukraine and Russia happened during like the first years he was out. He says that she hates Arabs, which is a crazy statement. Arabs, not Arabs, Arabs, my bad. She denies it, of course. Believes he wants to be a dictator. That's a crazy accusation to make. He had it for 4 years. Why wouldn't he make a dictatorship during that time? Says, this is funny. Says that he sends love letters to Kim Jong-un. Or would. Fun claim. Kind of funny if that's true. Interesting accusation, though. How can you take this serious when that stuff's mentioned? You know what I mean? Like, we're making these accusations. We're supposed to take y'all serious. That's not going to happen. He wants no one to be hurt in the Ukraine war. Kind of teeter-totter on answering the actual question within it. Questions where the president is at right now. I've not seen Biden in a while outside of being on the beach. She brought 50 countries in to help Ukraine. And last up, until I stopped watching, she agreed to pulling out of Afghanistan with Biden. So, end of everything right now. I believe this was a very ugly type of event that happened tonight. It's not looking good for our future as Americans. And these presidents aren't, these two candidates are not good right now. Can we get some people that can actually speak professionally and respectable in the process? Anything change? Nothing changed. I guess I'm just leaving right now. But, final score. During the Trump and Biden debate, I said it was 49-10 in Trump's favor. Today, it's a lot closer, and it's not because it was a great high-scoring game. No, very low-scoring, very pathetic. I'm going to give it this score. And the only reason I give this is because one topic is heavily important, and these two most important topics I mentioned earlier, one answered it and one didn't. I'm giving Trump 14. I'm giving Harris 13. And the reason for it, because illegal immigration was heavily not answered by Kamala Harris. And abortion and immigration were both talked about on a actual not bad actually giving good answers, I would say, or within Trump's mind, by Trump. Abortion was talked about by Kamala, but not immigration. She kept ignoring it. And that's a big thing. That's arguably the biggest problem that we have in this country. We have 11 million illegal people in this country at bare minimum. And that was not talked about by the current vice president that wants to be the president. That's a big thing to not mention. Very ugly. I'd give Trump barely the edge upon that. So yeah, put down in the comments your own opinions. Again, this might have been the best review you'll ever see, but it's my review. That's how I do it. And yeah, that was my notes. That's how everything was. Be free to put whatever you want in the comments. I will read them. If anything happened within the last 15 minutes that I did not realize, my bad. My bad. But I'm tired. I doubt anything really changed. Put down in the comments your opinions about this, though. And yeah, give your own score about this. Hope you have a great day, y'all. And stay safe. And remember, please talk respectfully to others. Respect your elders. And neither of them respect each other. And all of them are elders. They're above 55. Above 55, he might be an elder. Even though with her hair, she doesn't look like an elder. Trump does, though. So, yeah. Hope you have a great day, y'all. Stay safe. Remember, God bless y'all.